What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with this 24 days out physique update from the Persian wolf Hadichoopan. So I guess this will answer all the questions that many of us raised, that whether his quads are looking a bit downsized, especially in that one update that he posted when he was about 8 weeks out. Well, you guys can see this right here, that his legs are looking humongous and also ripped to the bone. So we can only hope and pray that he arrives here in the US very soon, because time is running out very fast. And with Hadichoopan consistently placing in the top 3 since 2019, it is kind of hard to imagine an Olympia without Hadi in it. So this current look, that is very similar to the one that we saw before the Arnold Ohio last year, which was Hadi's first ever Arnold appearance. And the man won that show in such a dominating fashion. Now to this day, majority of the bodybuilding fans and the experts, they all believe that if Hadi shows up, similar or maybe even better than the Arnold Ohio last year, he's gonna win another Olympia title hands down. So the reigning Olympia champion Samson Dauda might be 50 pounds heavier than him, but Hadi's muscularity, the way he's put up together, that hard, granite-like conditioning, that is enough to overcome not just Samson Dauda but all these other top guys too. Because when Hadi is truly on, it doesn't seem like that he's 50 pounds lighter compared to a guy like Samson Dauda. And not to forget, he's one of the most fierce competitor on every stage that he steps on. So I really hope that he finds his way into the US, because even on paper, he's the guy to challenge Samson Dauda for the Olympia title this year. So Hadi has not placed outside of top 2 since 2021. So what do you guys think? If Hadi gets here, will he win another Olympia title? Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. Next up, we have an update from Madelman, aka Jose Maria, who has been the most accomplished 212 pro of this year. So he got 3 back-to-back wins, and it wasn't close between him and the second place finisher, who was Venom from Ukraine, and who just won a show last weekend. So Madelman has one of the most round and cartoonish looking physique right now, not just in the 212, but across the board. Some people call him the mini version of Samson Dauda, and I'm gonna say rightfully so. So he made the switch from classic into the 212, and that made total sense, because he was only restricting himself as a classic physique competitor. And if we compare his classic look to the 212, the size difference is just immense. And this guy really put in a lot of work during this past off season to put on that much muscle, that much mass, and that much density on his frame. And he peaked perfectly for 3 shows back to back, because those shows were scheduled just weeks apart. And that also makes him a very consistent guy in this division too. So despite the fact that he put on that much muscle on his frame, his waistline remained the same, and his midsection was very tight, which is a massive success for him. So this is gonna be his first ever Mr. Olympia in the 212. And this is a guy who has all the tools to be in the first Olympia call-out. So one of the most freaky bodybuilder of this era, especially in the men's open, Vlad is back in the business, and he has started to post those crazy physique updates, which look totally unreal and edited. But after watching him bring a similar look last year at Chicago Pro and Tampa Pro, the man announced himself loud and clear that he's the real deal. So there are only a few guys out there who can maintain this low level of body fat even during the off season. Yes, you guys heard that right. This is the off season, and this is his first check-in. And Vlad doesn't intend to compete anytime soon. He is just focused on rebuilding that physique. Now, if we look at his transformation, he was one of the most fastest growing IFBB pro, but that also hurt him big time in a sense that previously he had a very small waistline when he was young and up and coming before he turned pro, and the pursuit of more size, more mass, that did give him a wider waistline. But he makes up for that with that very hard look that he presents on the stage. And if he can bring up his quads, if he can develop more quad sweep, he can become even more dangerous, especially in those front shots. Because both his back shots and both his side shots, they are absolutely ridiculous. So apparently it wasn't close between him and Muhammad Fadal last year in Chicago, but Vlad clearly beat him in both the back shots. So it's great to see that Vlad decided to take a full off season to improve his physique, because we have seen so many Olympians unable to perform very well throughout this season, and 2026 is gonna be even more difficult. So Vlad brings a lot of size and a lot of muscularity on the stage. So that combined with his freaky conditioning, that will always be a superb combination. Next up, we have an update from Terrence Ruffin. So he's the guy whose body responds extremely well and very efficiently to the low volume training style. The conditioning looks very grainy for 3.5 weeks out, as Terrence isn't gonna give any of the judges a chance to say that his conditioning could have been a bit better or he could have been a bit more drier, because this is what they said after this year's Pittsburgh Pro, the show that he won against Josema Beast. And Terrence knows he's chasing a guy who is overall more muscular and a lot bigger than him. But Terrence has the shape and the aesthetics advantage over Mike. So it is the Olympia after all, and no one can slip, even by 1%, as we have seen athletes dropping down multiple places when they come in even slightly off in classic physique Olympia. So the biggest difference that we're gonna see in Terrence's physique from the one that we saw in Pittsburgh and the New York Pro, it is gonna be more bigger and more complete arms, and possibly more hamstrings. So if we are to pick him apart, he is pretty much perfect, except those two areas. So after Brion, Terrence is the guy with the most stage experience in classic, the only guy to have won 2 Arnold titles. And if we just ignore those statistics, his physique is also the one that is a true definition of classic physique in the eyes of many people. So the reigning men's physique Olympia champion Ryan Terry, he is looking ready to win his 3rd consecutive Olympia title in less than 3.5 weeks time now. So this year we have seen so much trash talk coming from all these guys chasing Ryan, especially from Ali Bilal, who has been very vocal that he's going to dominate this show and he's gonna be the one to dethrone Ryan Terry. While Ryan, on the other hand, he's very confident that this year he's gonna show up a lot better than the Olympia last year, because we heard from him in the past that he wasn't 100% last year at the Olympia. So even Chris Bumstead gave him the nod when these guys trained together about 1.5 weeks back, that Ryan is looking very ready and also fat-free with another 5 weeks to go. So this year's men's physique Olympia is very unique, as we have so many guys who are aiming for that Olympia title. And I'm not just talking about the former Olympia champions like Brendan Hendrickson, Aaron Banks, Jeremy Bondea. Emmanuel Hunter has also been looking very impressive, and he's also very confident that he's gonna win this show. Corey Morris is another guy who can potentially fight for this year's Olympia title. And then of course we have Ali Bilal. So let me know what you guys think. Are we gonna see another Olympia champion in men's physique this year in 3.5 weeks time? So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.